Hello YouTube and people of the interwebs, welcome back to another video. Now, in today's video I'm going to be telling you why I think that in the current TV climate with subscription services, Netflix, Disney Plus, you know, whatever, why I think that now, 2020, is the perfect time to bring back cult favourite sci-fi show, Doctor Who spin-off, Torchwood. So, a little bit of background info on Torchwood for those of you who haven't watched it in a while, can't remember it, or have never actually seen the show. Basically, it follows the adventures of Captain Jack Harkness, everyone's favourite Doctor Who companion.
You miss me, right?
That's not a controversial thing to say, is it? Probably. I don't know. It follows Jack and this team of people who've banded together to stop aliens coming through the rift in the centre of Cardiff. Now, it came onto TV in 2006 and stopped airing on TV in 2011 with 4 series. Series 1 and 2 were very much products of their time. Basically what we get as Doctor Who series now, sort of an unusual formula that we don't see very often nowadays. You'd have one individual story and da-da-da-da-da. Series 3 and 4, if anything, they were quite ahead of their time, because nowadays, rather than seeing like the Doctor Who formula of one standalone adventure a week for 13 weeks, we have one big overarching story. Examples being things like Stranger Things.
I'd dump your ass.
The Good Place.
Anything else?
No, Janet, this is actually a cactus.
There's loads more. Even the BBC is sort of starting to catch on to this, because on BBC iPlayer now they release series of TV all in one go for people to binge through, then slowly air it out on TV. For example, Mallory Blackman's Noughts and Crosses, which is a great TV series and book, by the way. They released all of that onto iPlayer and then they slowly aired the episodes. Just now, I'm halfway through watching it, the A-Word Series 3, they've released all of that onto iPlayer and then they're slowly airing the episodes. Now, that's what Children of Earth Series 3 of Torchwood and Miracle Day Series 4 of Torchwood did, in that they had one big overarching narrative that they added episodes onto each time. This is why it would be the perfect time to bring back another big overarching one-story plot for Torchwood in 2020. Now, where would this go? Because money-wise for the BBC, that's where it's concerned. They want viewing figures, they want the money, etc. And that's fair enough because it's a brand. So they've released BritBox, which is basically a combination between... Let me take my coat off, it's too warm. I don't know why I was wearing that in the first place. I'm not the doctor. BritBox. This is a combination between BBC, ITV, Channel 4 and I think Channel 5 or something. But basically they put all the big BBC classic shows, whatever, on there, like all of classic Doctor Who's on there, so I highly recommend it. I'm not sponsored and no, I'm not paid by the BBC. So they could theoretically put a new series of Torchwood onto BritBox as an exclusive thing, which would drive more like Whovians and people and whatever to BritBox. Not only would a show like Torchwood really fit and work the current climate of TV, but the main actors who would be required, those being John Barrowman's Captain Jack Harkness, Eve Miles' Gwen Cooper, and possibly Rex, I don't know the actor of, from Series 4. These 3 actors have all said numerous times they'd be more than willing to return for Torchwood. They'd be more than up for a new series of the iconic show. So it makes perfect sense to do another series. Not only this, but John Barrowman himself has appeared in Series 12 of Doctor Who.
Oh, come here. How you been, Doctor?
He was in Fugitive of the Judoon. Torchwood got like 2 name drops from in Resolution and in Spyfall, and almost certainly Captain Jack is coming back for Revolution of the Daleks, we have a properly Torchwood-esque time that we haven't seen since the Russell T Davies era. Now, speaking of the Russell T Davies era, the BBC, throughout Series 12 and whatever, they've brought in classic things like Jack, like Judoon, like Daleks, like Cybermen. They want to bring people back and remind people, and the Master. Although it's not my favourite era of the show, it's hard to deny the fact that that was Doctor Who at peak popularity, like Voyage of the Damned bringing in about 16 million TV viewers, which is insane for Doctor Who when you consider that nowadays it's only pulling in 4 million. Yes, TV viewing habits have changed, you don't need to tell me in the comments. But the BBC do want to remind the public of that big Doctor Who-y era, and Torchwood was very much a part of Russell T Davies' Doctor Who. So you bring in Torchwood, you bring in nostalgia, and right now in the Doctor Who community, that's one big thing that we do sort of really need and are lacking quite a bit, is that sense of community and that sense of everyone sitting down, watching the show and being happy. And if you bring a series of Torchwood back, you bear in mind you've got to have good writers, good story, and it's got to engage people. Then yeah, the division will be gone. You'll have it, well, it won't be gone, it will be soothed somewhat with some happy content for Whovians to watch, rather than a lot of people who complain at Series 12. It would just be a great idea all round. Also, when you consider that Series 12, Episode 5 shot up viewing figures-wise compared to Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror and Praxeus, which aired either side of it, Fugitive of the Dune shot up their higher viewing figures, and this can be linked back to the fact that Captain Jack came back.
Ladies, your viewing figures just went up.
The Judoon came back. It does work, this idea of bringing things from the past back. It gets the audience, and John Barrowman wants to return. Everyone wants John Barrowman to return, so yeah, come on. Also, Yasmin Khan is a police officer. Gwen Cooper was a police officer. Yeah, Yaz is a clear fit for someone who could join the Torchwood team. She has a properly, sort of undeveloped family on Doctor Who. Develop them more in Torchwood, keep them as recurring characters. Yaz could even leave the TARDIS and join a Torchwood team, similar to Martha Jones joining UNIT. You could have Yaz join a new version of Torchwood with Captain Jack after they've been on an adventure. It would work perfectly. In a non-offensive way, John Barrowman is not going to stay young and fit forever. He is eventually going to turn into this.
Everything has its time. You know that, old friend, better than most.
Okay, maybe not in real life, but point being, he's getting older. He's not going to be able to play Captain Jack forever, and he's still perfect for the part now. So while you have this John Barrowman that can play Captain Jack perfectly, utilise him, use him not only in Doctor Who, but bring back Torchwood. There's also characters scattered throughout the Chibnall run like Ravio and Ethan from the Timeless Children. Kosharmas, he died, whoops. But you could bring them back and they could join the new Torchwood team, once again creating beautiful synergy between Doctor Who and Torchwood. So, yeah, how do we actually achieve this, and is it gonna happen? I don't know, I think there's a slim chance, 25% maybe, that Torchwood could return, but BBC don't seem that interested in it. John Barrowman's more than interested. In fact, when you look at things like the fact that they put all of Torchwood on iPlayer and in a day it got thousands of views when hashtag on Twitter was trending and all this, Torchwood is still, there's an audience for it. They tried with Class back in 2016, didn't really work out, so you've got to do the writing well. But there is definitely this teenage adult demographic starved of Doctor Who content who want this show to return. That's why today I'm starting the hashtag bring back Torchwood. We're gonna go viral. We're gonna probably get 2 shares on Twitter. But the thought's there. So yeah, do tweet John Barrowman, tweet the BBC, see whatever you can do. It's probably going to amount to absolutely nothing, so this is aimless and me rambling now. But yeah, hashtag bring back Torchwood. So yeah, that does bring us to the end of today's video. If you did enjoy, remember to like, comment, subscribe. You know the drill. Thank you for watching. Comment what you'd like to see from a new series of Torchwood. If you think it should return, if you think it shouldn't, and why. You get the gist. Goodbye.
Don't forget to click below.
Subscribe to the Confused Adipose.